All right, in this video, now that I have some interior door or some interior walls, I want to show you how to create openings, door openings for your interior spaces, as well as talk about creating an exterior door, which is a door to the outside. Okay, it's just a little bit different because the exterior walls are a group. All right, so I want to start right here. Um, and what I want to do is orbit around so that I kind of looking at this wall straight on. All right, zoom in a little bit. I want a nice wide opening. I kind of want an open type floor plan where you can easily see from one room to another. This is going to be kind of a living room space over here. So I am going to start with my tape measure tool, and I'm going to click on the edge of this wall here. And I want this opening centered on this wall. I want it right in the middle. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I clicked on this line, and now I'm going to move my mouse down to the bottom and just kind of move across until it hits a blue dot. And what that is indicating to me is that that is the midpoint of that wall. So I'm going to click there. Now that's the center. So even if it doesn't look exactly like it, because as you orbit around, those spaces can look shorter or longer just depending on how you're seeing it. That is in fact the middle of that space. So next what I'm going to do, again using my tape measure tool, so I'm going to click here. I know I want the edge of the opening to be about right here, and if I look down at my length on the bottom of the screen, that says just over 7 feet. So I'm going to go ahead and make it easy on myself and make it 7 feet. So I type 7 feet, press return, and then I go back to the middle and go this way, 7 feet. So that's how wide the opening is going to be. And then from the bottom, all interior openings are a standard 80 inches high. So interior doors, they're all 80 inches high. So I type in 80 and press return, and that kind of creates the space for the opening. Now I'm going to take my rectangle tool, and I'm going to go from one corner diagonally to the other. And now with my push-pull tool, I've got the outside and the inside. I'm going to take this inside space, push it forward until it kind of turns this funky color, and then press again, and there's my opening from one space to the other. Okay, so that's how you can create openings. All right, I could do the same thing now over on my bathroom. I'm going to, just to keep guidelines from getting all messed up, I'm going to delete the guides from that small little project I just did. And I'm going to come down here and create the door into my bathroom. Now, the doors do not have to be centered. I could get my tape measure tool, and I want to come off the wall here, and let's say I want the edge of the door to be there. Now this time I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to use the rectangle tool, and I'm going to draw a rectangle that is the width and height of the door. I know the height is 80 inches. The width should be a standard 28, 30, 32, or 36. I'm going to make this one 28, which is somewhat standard for a small bathroom. So I'm going to do 28, 80. So instead of making a guideline over and a guideline up, I just created the rectangle that size. It doesn't matter which way you do it, whatever you're comfortable with. You get the same result. Now I'm going to push that in until it says offset limited to. Let go, and now there's the door into my bathroom. Okay. All right, and then I would continue putting some openings here. Exterior opening. Okay. If I go like this, I really can't see where those two walls are. So I'm going to have to work on the exterior door from the inside of the house. So I'm going to orbit around, and I'm going to come down to this space here. I'm going to delete my guides, and I want to center a door right there. All right. So I will get my tape measure tool again. Now, as I move the mouse down here, it's not finding the center. And it's not finding the center because the outside walls are not being affected by these inside walls. So really, this line does not technically go from there to there. It goes from one corner of the house to the other. So this time I'm going to have to measure. I start at 0. Clear on the other side is 5'5". I'm going to go ahead and round it up, make it easy on myself, make it 5'6", which is, well, 5 feet is 60 inches, plus another 6 inches would be 66 inches. So roughly halfway is 33 inches. Now, most exterior doors on houses, especially today, modern houses, are 36 inches wide. So I'm going to click on that line, and I'm going to come each way 18 inches. So I'll come 18 that way, 18 this way, 80 from the bottom, because they're all still 80 inches high, interior or exterior. And there I have the space for my door. Now, if I draw a rectangle on that, what you're going to find is that when I push this through, it doesn't actually push an opening through. I can pull it, but I really can't push it through. And actually, you can see it pushing way through on the other side, but it's not making a hole. Okay. The reason for that is because this rectangle is living on top of the walls because we grouped them. So I'm going to have to undo the rectangle. So I leave my guidelines there. I just get rid of the rectangle. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click the walls. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I want to show you what happens when you double click a group. When you double click a group, click, click. Okay. Notice how the interior walls turned kind of a shaded green, as did the floor. But the exterior walls are still white and gray. That indicates that you are working inside of a group. So now I'm working on this group. And now when I draw something on here, such as a rectangle, it's actually part of that group. So now when I push it, it actually creates the hole. So you do have to remember to double click the group, then draw your rectangle, then push it through. If you draw your rectangle first and then double click the group, that will not work. The group must be double clicked prior to drawing the rectangle. Then you draw your rectangle, push it through using the selection tool, click outside of the group. I'm going to come over here, delete my guides, and I'm going to save the project.